Alright, 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 alright. I actually think I'm gonna play. Let's play a practice match. Little practice match with Lich for funsies. Lichento. And then we'll get into some Doomsday action. We'll see if I acquire any viewers before I start Doomsdaying. Or if this takes forever. While we wait, I get. Oh, never mind. No waiting needed. This hand looks fine. Sorry, I'm snuffling so much. My nose is all dry and cloggy and shit. Just the effects of living in dry ass winter. Nose feels whack. Alright, let's see what's going on here. So I'm like a piece away from doing a whole lot here. They're starting off with a main phase brainstorm, which seems questionable to me. That kind of screams like combo deck in my mind, because it meant that they were trying to win right away. I'm going to grab Underground Sea and just lead off with Thoughtseize. And that way I can get a card deeper. At least one card deeper before I use my own brainstorm. Goy Force. Fuck. This is a problem. I'm going to take the Force, but then I'm going to get fucked by this Wasteland. Maybe. Unless they decide they want to play the Goyf. But they probably won't. If they main phase the Brainstorm on turn 1, they're not going to play the Goyf on turn 2. Land. Not a land, but I did find a Lich. So that's good. So I'm basically waiting on a land here. So there's the Misty that I knew about. And this will be the Goyf. This ain't looking good. Well, I found all my combo pieces. Yeah, so just play out this Zeranora rather than discard. So I'm really looking for a land right now. This will be Oko. Interesting that they're not. Oh, maybe just attacking before they cast Oko. Delver. Okay, so they have Oko and one mystery card in hand. Well, there's a Force of Will. The mystery card might be... I said Force of Will, there's Underground Sea, but I was thinking the mystery card might be Force of Will, which is why they decided not to play... Okay, so they reveal a Decay. Why they decided not to play the Oko, because they're holding it for Force. But if I can find another land, I'll just try and jam something through. Oh my god, are you kidding me? They drew a Wasteland. I'm just going to sack this to the Zorb. Well, I'm fine. Might as well gain some life if it's going to get blown up. So I can cast the Lich and try to go off with Shoal right now. as long as they don't have anything, but it's probably gonna force it. Nope. Okay. Let's go for it. Let's see. So I can play that. Just trying to think of what my options are here, because I think there's not a lot of them. I don't have a land play this turn. Max damage to each creature and each player is interesting, but I guess what I'm thinking with that idea is that I need to use the Lotus Petal. I'm thinking that I could maybe wipe the board and then next turn try and show and tell in a Progenitus if I find it. You feel me? Elko is only creature artifacts and creatures. I just don't know if maybe the alternative is to yeah, I kind of like that idea. I'll have to do 4 damage. Let's just try this. Discard X cards. We'll discard a Lich. We'll discard Thoughtseize. We'll discard the Bayou, maybe. And yeah, we can do the basic island. So X is currently 4. Now, are there any sorceries? There are. So this isn't going to change the... Oh, Goyf is a 4/5 now because of the... I guess I'll add a show and tell because of the Lotus Petal. I almost missed that. Alright, let's do that. Oh, now it's 5/6. I'm a fucking idiot. Because of the enchantment. I'm such a fucking doofus. Oh. That's my bad. I forgot I had clicked an enchantment. Alright, let's see. So against Delver, I want the carpets, and I want the fatal pushes. And I'll cut... I feel like the Liches are not the greatest in this matchup, so I'll cut the Liches. I'm cutting the Liches, I'll cut the Zorb. But I don't really want to cut anything else. I guess I can cut the 1 Preordain, maybe. I'll try that. I feel like against Delver, the best plan is just going to be to try and power out a show and tell into Progenitus. Like I know Delver's supposed to be a kind of a tough matchup for show and tell decks sometimes because of all the soft remission and whatnot. But we got rituals, Lotus Petals, and Carpet to try and help power through the soft remission, and discard to try and help deal with the hard stuff. And if I can just get Progenitus down, I think we'd be in good shape. I don't feel like I can throw that hand back, and I want to get to the Doomsday playing anyway, so we'll just rock this and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I really porked that last game. If I had discarded another card, like one of the lands, then just discarded a 5th card, I could have wiped the board and then tried to stabilize after that. There's a Dark Rit. Dark Rit's pretty good. This is probably going to be some kind of a threat. Goyf or something. Thoughtseize. I guess I'll brainstorm here. We'll see what happens. They're forcing the brainstorm. Force pitching days. I wonder if I'm supposed to just brainstorm again in response. I don't know. I don't care. Okay. Well, they probably take the Progenitus here. They would have taken the brainstorm otherwise. So maybe it was best to just not brainstorm in the first place, actually. At all. Not cast either brainstorm. I mean, the upside is that I got rid of 3 counter spells from their hand. One viewer, hello Milton. I'm going to be starting the Doomsdaying momentarily. I just playing a match with the Lich. This person's taken forever. Okay, what did they take? They took the Nourishing Shoal. That's fine because I'm more on the show and tell plan for this game. But I am going to need... Well, there's the show and tell, so I'm really just in need of another mana. If I can find a black mana source, I'll be feeling pretty good. Assuming they don't have more discard. Grafdigger's Cage, yeah, that's not a thing that does anything against me. Well, there's a shoal. Wasteland doesn't do anything either. They might have a creature here. There's a Goyf, okay. Ponder is good. Help me find that mana. Okay, now we're talking. So I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to crack this Delta for basic Swamp, and I'm going to push the Goyf. And then they might, just because it might eat another counterspell, they might, try to protect the Goyf. So hopefully they don't have a Stifle. No Stifles, okay. I have a Swamp. Push the Goyf. Come on. Okay, so the Goyf died. Oop, they got something else in their hand. Is this a Leovold or something? Leevil would be pretty funny here when I show and tell in this progenitus. Oh, Oko. Okay. I got confused by them tapping the blue and black mana, but blue, green, black is, you know. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good here. As long as this Oko doesn't... Yeah, they have to target the progenitus, so they can't actually steal it. This should go through, unless they have... Great. So they're going to die. Unless they have edicts in their deck. I wonder if they know that can't do anything for them. Give them a little taste of what protection from everything means. I guess they can, what, buy themselves a turn? Oh no, that's an elk, so it's not even food. They can't eat it for food. Okay, but let's get to the Doomsday, because I don't give a shit. Actually, I'll just jump in here. Do a league. Use them play points. Alright, so let's take a look at the deck here. So, I've cut tendrils. We're trying something a little different. I cut the Conjurer's Bauble and the tendrils, or Conjurer's Bauble from the main deck, tendrils from the board. So Jace and Collective Brutality are our only win conditions main deck. Empty is our only extra win condition in the sideboard if you don't count Hope of Europe or Beatdown. I wanted to try... I wanted to see how I liked not having tendrils. And I wanted to give myself something to theoretically have a little bit of extra game against, like, a hard blue control like Miracles. So Hope of Gearper is there. Counterbalance obviously can still be an issue against those decks, but I figure it's worth a try. So we will start it up. Hopefully, I don't have to wait too long. The Legacy Challenges later today, I will not be playing that because I want to spend time with my wife at some point. This hand is perfectly acceptable. I can fetch two colors of both colors of my basics. It's got cantrips and mana. I will be wanting that Brainstorm to resolve, though. I'm not going to cast anything right now, because if they're playing Stifles, I don't think I really want to get stifled right away. It's also possible that they're playing Storm, and that makes it look more like it's Storm. So let's just crack one of these on end step. It's not getting stifled. I'm going to basic Island with that one. I'm going to fire off the Brainstorm here, actually. The way they're playing, I don't think I'm getting stifled. So this is interesting because it could kill, but I'm not sure that's where I want to be. see what happens when I crack this. Alright, I'll grab the other basic. I'm kind of feeling like they're playing Storm, but it could be the Bug Delver because I've been seeing a shitload of Bug Delver lately. So I'm just gonna go for the duress mode here on this Collective Brutality. And hopefully, okay, so it is not Storm, which is good because I didn't really want to get comboed out there. So I think since I'm not under any pressure right now, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try and Limb Duel's vault up a duress or something. Sherba, what's up? It smells like an Oko. Yep. So Oko's not really doing anything to me other than like making a clock. And I'm not going to crack that Mire just yet either. Delta's a good draw. I think I'm supposed to just pass here, and then I'll end step Limb Duel's Vault and look for a discard spell. And that'll give me Threshold for the Cabal Ritual now too, which will be very good. We've got a lot of mana. Making an elk, that's fine. So it's possible that I can set something up here where I can find a duress, cast a Doomsday, and then even if they counter the Doomsday, I can ponder into that definitely makes my life a little harder. Okay. That stops the Doomsday plan, so that means that I need to ponder, or I need to try and Limb Duel's Vault for an Experimental Frenzy and just hope they don't have Force of Will, I think. Because I'm going to get clocked pretty fast here otherwise. Still no, this might be more like a Bug mid-range than a Bug Delver, just because it's a lot of 3-drops. So, I don't have a ton of life to work with, but I am concerned about the potential for Force of Wills. Huh. Well, hi Orm. That's a good question. We should be able to beat one force. That's well, so I mean, here's my issue. Is the Leovold, so I can't easily draw into a Doomsday pile since I can't ponder into it. So, but this set of 5 cards here is interesting because of the act on impulse, since it doesn't actually draw cards. So I'm thinking, like, as long as they don't wasteland my bad lands, which would be the problem, and maybe I should have fetched a bulk with this fetch land so that I would have 2 red sources and could beat a wasteland. But if they don't take my bad lands away, I could beat 1 Force of Will with the Duress and the act on impulse. But I need them to not wasteland me at all, really. I don't think I'm going to pay the life, though. I don't want to go any deeper. I mean, I suppose, I don't know. I have some options, but yeah, Leovold. So Leovold can be annoying when it catches me in a situation like this where I don't, like, I was planning on drawing cards to win the game. But Experimental Frenzy kind of negates that in a lot of ways. And so I've never, I don't know, Leovold is not too big of a concern, but it can definitely kind of catch you with your pants down sometimes. So here's where we jam it. And if this gets countered, I'm kind of fucked, but it didn't get countered, so we'll duress them. Leovold will trigger, which hopefully won't draw another counter spell. Let's see what's going on up there. This is like a drown in the lock or something. Into the story. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? It's interesting that they couldn't counter that. Or they didn't counter the duress. Yeah, I got no idea what's going on. Alright, so they forced the duress. I just have to cast Doomsday here, though. I don't really have any other options to try and win this game. They probably have a second Force Will, yeah. Force pitching Snapcaster Mage. Jesus Christ. Now, no, I'm dead here. Okay. Because I know the next 3 cards in my deck. So yeah, that was not a thing I was expecting. I think I'm going to want Fluster Storms. I'm assuming that they might be playing Hymn to Turok as well. So being able to fluster hymns or fucking Into the Story. What the fuck? Okay. Normally I would consider Empty the Warrens in this kind of matchup. Oko makes me a little less interested in that, just because it can stonewall them better. But it's probably still okay. And then let's think. Maybe I don't want Empty. Maybe I just like want Fatal Pushes. It kills Goyfs, it kills Leovold, kills random ass Elks. I still gotta decide what to remove though. Could probably cut the Cabal Writs. Might be able to cut a Doomsday here. No, I don't want to cut a Doomsday. It's tough. Let's just do that. Just cut some random crap. I see you've decided to view my stream as well, Bill. Came to heckle me. So yeah, I mean, this matchup is a little hard because I have no idea what the fuck I'm up against. Hopu Giripur could be okay here. It might even be better than Flusterstorm in this situation. I don't even know. I mean, I'm assuming they're playing things like Abrupt Decay as ways to kill Hope. Alright, this hand is pretty good. I'm going to keep it. I do think... I don't know. A lot of ways I could go here. I'll probably just lead off with the Thoughtseize. Especially considering they mult to 6. And not a lot going on there. I'm just going to take the Ponder, I think. Although Scour is a little annoying too, just because of the way it interacts with Doomsday. But Ponder is a better card, for sure. And they might just Scour themselves or Scour me right at the start. But another Dark Ret. It's an interesting situation. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass. I don't see a huge need to try to do anything crazy right now. I feel like that hand is really underwhelming. I'm not sure why they would keep it, to be perfectly honest. There's the Scour. Force negation in the graveyard, but yeah, I don't know about that hand. Like, it just seems real weird to me. I'm a little inclined. No, I don't want to brainstorm end step. Let's just ponder here. Collective brutality is good. This actually is a very interesting situation now. I kind of want to just like jam something. Like jam the Frenzy on board. Right? Because I can do that without spending both rituals. Okay. Surgical on my Thoughtseizes? Sure. And that's actually fine by me because they shuffle the deck. And those cards weren't going to be super good with this Frenzy if it resolves. So, like, this is weird. They've kind of already used 2 of their cards that were incidentally very good against my strategy in Surgical and Thoughtseize, or Thoughtscour, I mean. Kind of blew their load a little bit. They can snap Thoughtseize to, or snap Surgical to take my Dark Ret, but like, I ain't using it right here. Did I cut the Cabal rituals? I did. It's a little annoying. They get my rituals. Okay. Can play that. I'll just fetch. Hopefully they don't have Ass Trophy or something. Have Underground Sea. Pass turn. But resolving the Frenzy is pretty big because if it sticks around, I'll be in a very good spot. I'm gonna Ass Trophy right now. Nope, Snap. So probably gonna be Snap Surgical on the Dark Rit, which is like pretty inconsequential at this point. Oh, Snap Surgical on Ponder. Okay. You do you, fam. I'm thinking Empty might actually be suitable here, especially in Game 2 since now they haven't seen it. Ooh, Limdwell's Vault is a real good one, especially considering that they now don't appear to have access to anything that can change the order of my library. So there's a Sylvan library, which isn't doing them a whole lot of good. So I think, unless they have a second Surgical, I think I'm very likely to win here. The Snap's out of their hand. I'm pretty sure that's out of their hand. So they have a couple mystery cards, but I'll just fire this off in my upkeep, and we should be in pretty good shape. So yes, I will pay life. None of those cards are really doing me any good right now. If any of those were not fetch lands, I would have been pretty happy. Okay, I can work with this, I think. I fucked that up. Can I undo that? I can. Good. Okay. So draw the Collective Brutality, play the Snow-Covered Island, Brainstorm, put back Doomsday, Dark Rit into Doomsday. And then we'll make a nice discard heavy pile. The whole Veil of Summer tapping out. Not that it would matter a whole lot here. I could have just built the pile differently, but so they had Plague Engineers. Is it fucking Into the Story? What the fuck? They had Plague Engineers. Right? Yeah. Fucking Frenzy makes Doomsday piles super easy. Very, very powerful card. So they had Plague Engineers, but they also saw my deck and they didn't see Empty the Warrens. So I'm wondering if they won't have the Plague Engineers next time around. And Empty is an okay card to side in. It might be good to have like a 1 or 2 just as an additional win con with the Surgicals, because if they had Surgical Doomsday, I would have been in trouble. Or if they ever had an opportunity to Surgical a Doomsday, I would have been in trouble. situation. Could cut a preordain maybe. I'll try this. Just because without, another win con, you kind of are, I don't know, in this not so great spot. I actually think I want to mulligan this. It's very top heavy, and its only cantrip is the Brainstorm, and it doesn't have any second land, so like there's a lot of ways that hand could kind of get stuck. And I'll keep this. And I think I'm gonna... I don't know. Part of me wants to put the Doomsday on the bottom and hang on to the lands. But it's probably smarter to just put a land back and just hang on to a win con. I haven't seen any discard from them yet, I don't think. I also haven't seen any wastelands, right? So I'm going to get aggressive and fetch my non-basics. I think I want to keep these too. Just so I can, I get my lands and I get some cantrips, and I'll have to watch out for potential Leovold shutting off my Brainstorms, but I think we're kind of going to be in a Draco mode here, and like I'm way up on cards and cantrip. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know what they have for cantrips, but I guess what I'm saying is like I'm ahead on cards by a pretty substantial margin, and my card quality is going to be pretty good. So like I'm not in a rush to do a whole lot. And this way I can respond to them tapping out for Leovold by firing off these Brainstorms. If they decide to tap out for Leovold. Brainstorm, okay. I will consider cracking this Tarn. Just because like I know I have another land on the bottom. I don't think I want to draw the fourth land right now. I'm going to crack, we'll get another Underground Sea. And there's the Act on Impulse, is kind of an interesting draw. I'm assuming that they're pretty loaded with counter magic right now. I might be feeling an end step Brainstorm, or like an upkeep Brainstorm or something. I feel like, what are we doing here? I gotta be careful not to put 7 cards in my graveyard. Is this just a snap Brainstorm? Brazen Borrower. That's really interesting. Good to know about as a potential solution to the old experimental frenzy. But right now it's just a clock. So I'll just get hit by it. It does die to a Fatal Push if I can find one. Okay, I'm thinking an end step Brainstorm here might be suitable. Since I have the fetch land, it's not so bad. Oh, that's not a fucking good draw at all, though. Brainstorm is just a weird card to like use end step, and arguably, I don't know. Brainstorm is a hard card to use well, so I'm not going to go making any sweeping proclamations about when's the right time to use it. My hypothesis is that fucking nobody knows. God damn it, I drew the fucking Act on Impulse again. I'm gonna duress here. I think it's time for me to find out what's going on in their hand. Veil of Summer. Okay. Veil's not gonna stop them, or stop me from killing them, unless they have more counter magic. Yeah, right? basically my reasoning there is like if I can find a dark ritual, I'll be in pretty good position to try to win the game, and I had the fetch land. But oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's that's less than desirable for sure. I think the end step brainstorm is defensible there at least, but you know, the best brainstorm is the one you never cast or whatever, however that apocryphal saying goes. Oh great, now they have their own fucking brainstorm. And a ponder. That's fun. Although it does kind of make me feel like maybe they don't have a whole lot going on, but they didn't shuffle, so that's also less than desirable. Collective Brutality is good here. I could duress and kill the Brazen Borrower. If I had a Dark Red, I could do it all in one turn. I'm a little hesitant to put my Act on Impulse in the graveyard and open it up to a Surgical or something, but I still have Frenzy that I could use to draw through my Doomsday pile, so target opponent, target creature, discard a card. And I can also just try to win next turn. Alright, so they're forcing this. Interesting. Force pitching Spell Pierce. Fascinating. So what the fuck do they have left in their hand? Obviously they wanted to protect their clock here, which I understand. Another island. I guess I'm supposed to just go for it now, right? There's not really any reason not to. I can beat a Spell Pierce, assuming they don't take my Act on Impulse away. Okay. Pitching Leovold, great. It's putting me in a little bit of a tight spot for sure. Ooh, that ain't good. That is real bad, in fact. Because I don't think I can beat that. Since this puts me to 1 life, I can't cast a Doomsday even if I found it. So I would need... Yeah, I don't even know what I could possibly do at this point. I guess, so if I... Let's see. If I brainstorm into Frenzy and then hit like Fatal Push, and can survive the turn, but I still won't have any way to gain life. I have to hit like Fatal Push, and then a few more spells into an empty and be able to just kill them. So like I guess, strictly speaking, I don't need to actually crack the LED here. Strictly speaking, I'm not dead, but I'm pretty dead. There's the empty, which isn't good enough. So it's got to be the Ponder. I mean, shuffling, yeah, it's not really any different here. Basically, this is actually the better play because, but I'm gonna crack the LED this time. I don't know if it matters what I crack it for. The preordain's better than the shuffle because I'm going to put these on the bottom so I won't see them. Yeah, okay. Well, that was unfortunate. That's a lot of counter magic. And a really bad brainstorm. But I guess that's what happens when you put bad cards in your deck. Oh, it's Arkin. Is this Arkin? The Arkin? This hand's pretty good, I think. I feel a little bit of pressure to fetch Underground Sea with this, but I don't want to open myself up to Wasteland. And I do have a lot of cantrips, so I can probably find a black mana source. So I think I'm just going to try fetching the basic island here. Well, there's another mana. I think I'll keep these. Well, yeah, okay. Tarn. For Trop. So looking like Rug Delver. So I'm pretty glad that I fetched the basic island here, I think. I'm just going to preordain here. If they want to daze it, that's cool with me. And I'll grab the Ponder. And I'm going to play my Underground Sea and Thoughtseize. I'm kind of running this Thoughtseize into a daze, but they chose not to daze anything else, so wowee, that is a hand. I'll take the Force, even though it's not doing anything, because it very easily could do something soon. But I'm going to need to win pretty quick. Looks like it was 4-color Delver for what it's worth. Oh, and now they have the daze. That kind of sucks, actually, because they can Wasteland me and then be able to daze whatever my next spell is. But they might just be playing the Goyf here. Nope. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to run out of time pretty quick. I kind of want to... So, this is not... I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Playing a little too fast here. I was thinking it might make sense to upkeep Brainstorm here. They don't have another land. I'm gonna mean at this point I've already made it to my end step, so I don't have any other options. But basically, what I'm thinking is, if they want to daze this, it's going to prevent them from potentially playing a Goyf this turn. And if they don't daze it, it means my Brainstorm resolves through the daze when I only have one land, which is okay. So they decide to daze it, and I'm not going to pay, and that's fine. So they have one mystery card in hand. So let's ponder. I really hope this ponder resolves. Pretty good. So now I can fetch my basic swamp. I don't know if there's a ton of value to be gained from duressing right now. Well, actually there probably is. Because if I draw Doomsday next turn, I can go for the kill. And I can grab this Force Will. So I now know the contents of their hand completely. They don't have a second land to play anything. Is that Goyf really just a 0-1? That's not right. Yeah, it's a 3-4. Okay, so I need a really hot fucking draw right now. Not that. That ain't it. None of those are it either. At this point, I don't even know what I could possibly draw that would save me here. I mean, I'm not dead yet, but I'm effectively dead because if I don't find something this turn... Oh no, I am, now that this is a 4-5. If I don't find something this turn, I go to 1, which means Doomsday's off the table, which means I can't realistically win the game. So I need to at least crack this for red. And the real question is, do I want to crack this one for something? I guess I want to crack it for blue in case I draw another cantrip, right? Or if I need to cast that fucking Jace. There's the Frenzy. But I don't have enough mana to cast the Jace. So I can't actually do anything. Like, I can't cast the Frenzy here. Or, I mean, if I cast the Frenzy, I won't be able to play the Jace. So it means I have to shuffle and hope to, like, draw a Frenzy. Which I did not. So, that's game. Okay, that didn't work out very well. This is an empty matchup. Empty and push. And we cut Vault. We cut some Frenzies. And I have one more card I can cut. I guess I could cut another Frenzy. Or a Preordain, but I don't want to cut a cantrip here, I don't think. I guess I'll cut another Frenzy. My cantripping was kind of weird that game, and I'm not sure that I did it very well. Just trying to think of where I could have done what I could have done a little bit better. I could have drawn a little better, for one thing, that last turn. So, I've seen a lot of Jace here so far, which isn't the greatest. Although it was in my opening hand, so... What is paint doing open? I don't know. So in these Delver matchups, you kind of, basically you lean more into empty. Frenzy is very good if you can land it very quickly, but sometimes it can be hard to land it very quickly. This is an interesting hand, though, and I'm going to keep it because it does have the potential to land this Frenzy pretty quickly, especially if I can find a Dark Grit and not get wastelanded right away. So this is a potentially strong hand. But I might be getting thought seized, which sucks. Fuck. That's fucking stupid. I'm glad I bottomed that swamp, though. Because that would have been an awful draw. They must take the Frenzy here, right? Like, if you take the Thoughtseize, I'm not going to just jam the Frenzy. Wow. I'm very surprised by that, but I guess it means that... Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm really I don't know what the motivation behind taking the Thoughtseize is there. I guess it means that you have Force Will, right? That's the only thing it can mean. Or a second Thoughtseize. Maybe, I guess no counter magic, but a second Thoughtseize is another possibility. But I feel like you still just take the Frenzy there, if that's the case, because you really don't want me to jam it. So it'd be such a huge gamble to not take the Frenzy if he didn't have counter magic. Okay, now I take a Frenzy. And play a Delver, yep. This is working out great. Maybe I should have held on to these so if I drew my empty I'd have a way to kill. I don't know about this. Great. Bunch of shit I could have used later. Everything's working out great for me. Yeah, casting the Act on Impulse there was foolish. I don't think there's a good reason to do that. Like, it's unlikely to bait a counterspell. And it's likely to not give me anything that I can cast. Like, I think I could have won there if I hit, like, land, petal, cantrip exactly off of that. But I guess I drew the cantrip, so now I'm just going to try to win the game rather than give them any more time. But I highly doubt it's going to work. This Goyf is going to shrink after Doomsday. Shrink quite small, which is kind of interesting. It's going to lose, at this point it's going to lose instant artifact and enchantment. So it's going to be like a 2-3. So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to grab a Thoughtseize here and make a pass a turn pile. The amount of time they tanked on that makes me think they must have something. And you know, just the way they're playing the game before makes me think they must have something. So we'll do that. It's possible that I lose the game because of this, but it's likely that I would have lost the game anyway. So I'll give this a try. I'm too far behind in this matchup at this point to, like, realistically win the game without some very aggressive play. In part because I played like a donkey, I think. Grafticker's Cage, that doesn't do anything. Not to my current plan anyway. So, and I don't have to worry about Veil of Summer because they tap the Trop. So let's see what I can do. I'm probably just going to see a hand I can't beat, I think is the most likely situation here. Surgical on Doomsday. Okay, so that's not a death sentence. It does make my life a little harder, but it just means that I need to see. I now have a 75% chance of winning the game because I need to see. The fuck's it called? I need to see Act on Impulse in the top 3 cards. It's actually a little higher than 75. I need to see in the top 3 cards or peel it off the shuffle. %75% roughly. I'm not going to do the hypergeometric bullshit. It's actually probably, we can figure it out if anyone wants to do a hypergeometric distribution for me. I'm just doing it right now. Population size is 4, number of successes is 1, sample size is 3, just the one sample. So just off the ponder before a shuffle, yeah, it's 75%, but then it's going to be plus a little bit more. So let's see what the thought sees me. Okay, so I have the force negation. So as long as I get this act on impulse, I win. There it is. Pretty sick. Kinda gross. All right. I definitely think, since I've seen the Grafdigger's Cage, I'm not going to bring in any more experimental frenzies. I don't think they're going to side out Grafdigger's Cage. But definitely kind of got away with one there. I'm not sure how I feel about not having tendrils anywhere in the 75. I played this way for a long time. And then relatively recently, in the past couple weeks, I went back to playing Conjurer's Bauble in the main deck and 1 tendrils in the board. And now I'm testing the previous configuration again. But yeah, I don't know. It's I'm just not sure. Just because being so all in on certain strategies. I think I'm going to keep this hand. It's fragile, but if there's another Thoughtseize, I'll be unhappy. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, this hand's super weak to Wasteland. I'm going to lead off on a Ponder because I really am desperate to find more mana, I think, so I want to see as many cards as possible. I feel like you're supposed to just take the empty here. I'm not sure what. Like, to me, this would be a snap, take the empty. If I saw it on my opponent's hand, so like I'm not sure what the hold up here is, but I honestly can't even think of what other card would be like. Really, only maybe Lion's Eye Diamond I think is kind of remotely worth considering. Interesting. Okay. I suspect there's going to be a Wasteland involved here. Yep. So that's a very, very powerful hand for my opponent. And that's a very, very, very good draw for me. I'm gonna grab the basic island here because I can't really afford to do much else. There's a Badlands and a Doomsday. Those are pretty good. I guess I'll take them. This is kind of an odd spot. Because like Doomsday is actually not a great draw here, but like it just feels really wonky to pass up the business spell. They shuffled off that ponder, which is very sus. What we got here? Goif? Yeah. If I draw another cantrip here would be pretty good. Another land is okay. So I mean I could cast Doomsday here. I could just go for it. That feels not the best to me. Maybe I will. There's nothing really stopping me from doing another pass a turn pile like last time, if they let it, or if this resolves. And so okay, so it just gets forced. Horse pitching ponder. That's fine. Part of me is almost like wants to try to ponder into an empty, but I think that's a really bad idea. That's just not likely enough to hit. I am gonna run out of clock, or not run out of clock, but like run out of time because of this Goif pretty soon. So there's the cage, which again just doesn't do that much unless I'm, you know, it basically turns off one card in my deck. I don't really want to ponder here, but like I'm still a ways off from doing anything. The fucking chase. Awful draw. I am kind of getting to a point where I might need to, like if I drew a cantrip, I might need to just try to cantrip into a frenzy, simply because I'm not going to have enough time to do much more than that. Because I'm on like a 3-turn clock from this Goif, and if I cast the Thoughtseize, I lose 1 turn of that clock. Oh great, a Wasteland. Okay, so I'm definitely not casting this Jace. Interesting that they took the Badlands. Dark Red. That don't do nothing. So yeah, it's gonna need to be like cantrip or bust next turn. Running 6 ain't good for my frenzy plan. Oh, and this just gets back Wasteland, so that's just game, right? Pretty much just game. Naturally, I drew the frenzy. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know what I can what I could do here. What possible draws? I guess like a brainstorm could potentially do it, but a real good brainstorm. Well, there's the brainstorm. Let's give it a shot. Actually, let's run out some LEDs first. See if any of these get dazed or something. Because like now I could pay for a daze and hope to hit one of my other friends' users or something, but it's a pretty long. This is a pretty long shot, no matter what. They're just gonna pyroblast it. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's unfortunate. The old classic 1-2. I get 5 1-2s in a row. Yeah, the having Thoughtseize on turn 1, them having Thoughtseize on turn 1 really or that like Thoughtseize Wasteland Daze opener is very strong. And my opener leaned pretty hard into empty, so that was unfortunate. Still seeing a lot of this Jace, drawing a lot of Jace here. It's not my favorite. It's a risk when you putting bad cards like Jace in your deck, but it doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I want to see it. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see if we can win one instead of 1-2ing everything. Not that those are like bad matches, you know. This is a fine hand. They're pretty reasonable matches. They had some play to them. They were fairly close, even though I like, you know, I kind of got almost blown out in a few of them. Like, you know, I still was able to get kind of close to winning anyway. But oh, great, another one of these decks. Let's see if this one has Into the Story. I don't think all three of my opponents have like start off with blue fetches into Trops, I think. So they didn't shuffle. There's a lot of Trop running around. I don't feel too bad about my matchup against these kinds of decks in particular. I'm going to run out this Duress right now because I have another land in case I get wastelanded. And, okay, double forces. I take the Force of Will, I guess. Just because I was thinking, like, if I took their one counter spell, I could try and just jam the Experimental Frenzy next turn. But it's like another bug mid-range sort of deck. There's a lot of these running around lately. And to be honest, I don't know why. Oh, maybe this is just 4-color Delver. I haven't seen a ton of success lately from like a straight bug mid-rangey type of list. But this definitely looks like it's just 4-color Delver. There's the Delver. So presumably they still have the Force Negation in their hand, which is fine. Let's see if this bad boy flips. Flips to a Force Negation. Delightful. There's the Wren. Yep. I'm gonna brainstorm right now. See who gives a fuck. Okay. They still have a brainstorm somewhere. I don't know. Alright, so I think I want to end step Balloon Duel's Vault. Hopefully they don't have a Wasteland. Wasteland would kind of suck, but I can live with it. There's the Goyf. So yeah, we definitely need to make a move here. Still no Wasteland though. This Vault might get countered. Well, actually, it probably won't get countered because they can't. They can't, right? Because it's on their turn. So the force negation doesn't do jack shit. So the real question becomes, what do I draw? I'm not going to pay life. Put the Preordain on the bottom. And then we'll put the... We'll do like that. That seems okay. And I'll just start with the Thoughtseize. Oh, Oko. Alright, so I'm going to take... What? I guess I take the Force of Negation? Because that'll force them to have a... Well, no, they can just get up to 5 mana next time. I mean, I have to take one of these, and it probably just doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. The real issue will be if they find a Wasteland. So I'm just going to pass turn. Hope they don't draw Wasteland. They did, naturally. That's pretty... Oh, wait. I have another land that I'm going to draw, so I can still get this Frenzy down. Through their force. It just means that... It just means that I'm not going to be able to play the... I probably shouldn't have cast this LED right here, because I actually don't want them to force it. I think I'm just going to have to get lucky. Because I really need them to not draw the Wasteland. Then I would have been able to do this without cracking that fetch and play the Frenzy and then LED them. I'm going to LED to play Doomsday. So that was pretty unlucky. And now I really just, like, I just need there to be a Doomsday right on top or something. I don't have any land plays, so I can't. That's not going to help me. Great. Luck is not going my way today. try that. Cut the Collective Brutality this time. I don't think I cut it last time. I'd love to be able to win at least one match. Losing matches 1-2, especially against these kinds of like fair type decks, are like is very frustrating to me because that's how I do it, league details. Because it's like, I don't know, like it feels like you could have won if things broke your way a little bit, but that hand is not going to be good enough, and I'm going to have to keep that, I think. I'm going to put the Brainstorm away. This hand is super fragile, but like a 5-card hand isn't going to be better, or it's very unlikely to be any better. So it's going to eat a dick to Wasteland. I at least found another land, which is good. So this is probably Thoughtseize. Yep. I assume it's going to take my Doomsday, which frankly I'm probably fine with because I'm not really close to winning with that Doomsday. So they take the Doomsday and surgical me or something. I think I'm pretty okay with that. They took one of my Ponders. Interesting. It's very that's very weird to me. Like, I understand that they get to take 2 Ponders, but like, if you have the surgical, why not take my Doomsday? That's, you know, like, the Doomsday is obviously how I win the game. They can't play either of those threats, though. They got Wastelands, but nothing to do with them. I'm going to be draw going for a little while here. I mean, I'm just going to push this, I think. There's literally no reason not to. Just fucking kill it now. They still don't have green mana for their thingy. For their Goyf. I'm sure they'll draw it before I draw anything of use. Yeah. I mean, them taking the Ponders is definitely... So, after seeing their hand, them taking the Ponder makes a little bit more sense because they're very far away from winning the game. And they didn't even have the mana to cast their spells, like their threats. And so it definitely felt like, you know, if I had any other ways to win the game, them leaving me with cantrips and taking away one of my ways to win the game leaves me with a bunch of potential hits to try and find alternative win cons. So like, I guess it makes a little more sense in that way of thinking. But now at this, and also because like now they're drawing much better than I was, or than I have been. So that definitely makes their play look a little better for sure. But they still have one more Wasteland in hand. Another Goyf, so that makes my empties. Actually, this is just like a 2-turn clock. So yeah, I'm just going to concede now. I'm not going to win this game. So that sucked. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty low on stuff. Gonna have to put some more money in if I keep playing like this. What the fuck? Beast. That hand sucks. Yuck. Okay. Put back the Volk. Just what I want to fucking see. More rug decks and shit. They said good luck to me. I'm gonna say good luck to them, but good luck, but I'm not gonna put it in chat. Generally, I just don't interact with my opponents if I can avoid it. Okay. I can get somewhere with this hand, at any rate. I have the Vault. I have Duress. It's not bad. Snow-covered forest. Arkham's Astrolabe. Okay, so this isn't Delver. This is like 4-color snow or something. They might be playing back to basics. I'm going to still play around Wasteland because they could have Ren and 6 or some shit like that. See if this resolves. It did. There's a lot of good cards in there. I don't think I'm going to pay life. I think I'm just going to go... We'll go like that. And then I'll Duress on my turn, and then Thoughtseize the next one, and draw the Dark Writ to play... Actually, maybe we'll Thoughtseize first. Thoughtseize first, and then I'll draw the Dark Writ and be able to Duress and play Frenzy on the same draw, which is looking pretty good. I'm going to take the Force of Negation, because next turn they could cast it. Not that that's going to matter like a whole lot, but... They had double Oko, so presumably they're going to play an Oko here, probably turn this Arkham's Astrolabe into an Elk. Okay. The black mana was a little upsetting because I thought I was going to get Thoughtseize. I thought they just peeled the Thoughtseize like a fucking asshole. Okay. This is good. This is good for me. Assuming they didn't draw another Force of Will. Which, of course, is possible. Let me think here. Yeah, I think there's good cards on top of my deck, but I don't want to get my Dark Writ forced here. It's just too... Like, I'm going to be very likely to win just by resolving this Frenzy, I think. And so... So I don't want to risk my Dark Writ getting forced just to have a chance to hit some decent cards off the top of my deck. And like, I still have good hits here, as you can see. So, this is kind of interesting. I'm going to draw this Frenzy. Like, I could shuffle here and get all new cards, but this Tarn will let me shuffle, and I want to get this Frenzy out of my deck, so I have fewer bad draws. And like I could shuffle now, but I actually probably am just going to spend this Lotus Petal to Preordain. And that way I can, let's see, I'll bottom that, top that, crack this. Actually probably should have bottomed that, like done the other way. Bottom this and top that so I could fetch the Underground Sea, but this will probably work out okay. I want another black mana, black source. Okay, that's a good card to have on top of my deck. My chances of winning here are very high. Because even if they drew like a ass trophy, I have more frenzies. Now I do only have 9 life, so I'm only going to be able to look at my whole deck in one more pile or something like that. I think this will be plenty of juice to kill somebody with. That's pretty good. Oh wait, this is my upkeep, right? I'm going to draw that land. So we'll go Doomsday on the bottom, Dark Grit, Delta, Mire. So I'll draw the Mire. I'll play the Delta. Then I can Dark Grit, Doomsday, and have a fetch land up to shuffle if it does get countered. But it didn't. So we need Duress, LED, Jace should be good. Actually, one of these should probably have been a Thoughtseize, just in case they are playing main deck Veil of Summers. So like the first one could be Duress, but the second one should be Thoughtseize, so that I can target myself if they had main deck Veil and had drawn it. So like it's a pretty slim margin, but it's not necessarily something that should be ignored when you have the option to play around it. I mean, it's also possible that if I Thoughtseize and went to 2 life that I just get Lightning Bolted. So, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. You beat what you can. Hope of Gearper could be okay here. I think this kind of matchup I should be favored to begin with. Actually, Hope of Gearper is probably pretty bad against the Oko decks. Yeah, this is probably just a dog shit inclusion when you think about it. I'll bring in a couple empties to hedge against Surgical. And I think I'll cut a Preordain. Can we cut a Frenzy? Frenzy is very good when it resolves, but they're going to have a lot of options to destroy it post-board, probably. Collective Brutality is potential cut. I still have 2 win cons in my deck, so... But they're probably playing Narset or Learvold somewhere in the 75. And so Jace is potentially awkward to win with. I could just cut another Preordain and maybe that's fine. Just stay business dense against them. Cabal Ritual's an option, but cutting Cabal Rituals makes my empties a little bit worse. So I'm not super into cutting them. This hand's really top heavy and awkward. If it's like a ritual away from being really good, but I just don't know if I'm going to keep it. I can keep that. I probably am supposed to just put one of the lands on the bottom. Playing the Astrolabe, alright. basic island. I'm not super sure if I'm supposed to be playing around Wasteland. That's a decent. Both of those are pretty decent draws. I think I'm just gonna keep them both, maybe, just because it gives me a lot of options. What was I saying? I'm not super sure if I'm supposed to be playing around Wasteland or not. They're likely playing Ren and 6, but supporting 4 colors in Wasteland could be difficult. So it's possible that they're playing like 2 Wasteland, and I don't have to go super hard on playing around Wasteland. Okay, so I'm pretty glad that I kept both of those, because I suspect this Empty Thorns is going to get jacked. Although it's possible that one of these two also gets jacked. So they took the Brainstorm. That's going to make my Doomsday a lot worse, but that's probably okay. I'm just going to go grab the basic Swamp here. Probably lead off on the Thoughtseize. They probably have some kind of defense against this. Brainstorm is good, yeah. The fact that they didn't take either of my discard spells makes me kind of think that they, I don't know, have a real redundant hand, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to see their hand some shortly anyway, so I don't want to read too deep into it, but I'm going to be kind of playing Drago for a bit here, though, because my hand's not doing a whole lot, and I need more mana before I can do much. So Ren and 6 and a Ponder. I think I want to take the Ren and 6. Just because I have the duress to take whatever they kind of can ponder into. And so Ren and 6 like does something, and with the way my hands is shaping up, it's not out of the question that they might be able to ult the Ren and 6 before I can get anything going. Oh, they have a Thoughtseize, delightful. So they must have hit that on top of their deck. We'll see what goes away here. It'll be interesting. So they took the Doomsday, which I think is a fair thing to take. If I drew, say, a Lotus Petal here, Lotus Petal would probably be the absolute best draw, because I could just make 8 goblins. They've also tapped out, which means that if they keep with the Ponder, they're probably not keeping anything good on top of their deck. Or whatever they keep, they're probably keeping on top of their deck, because I can duress on my turn. I'm just going to pass. I could make 6 goblins here, but I just don't think that's good enough. Thief of Sanity. So that must have been whatever. That must have been the thing they kept on top. Oh, there's my Lotus Petal. I wonder if 8 goblins is going to be good enough here. I mean, I don't have anything in my deck that can beat my goblins, so like I'm probably supposed to just make 8 goblins here and hope it's good enough. They have a Snapcaster Mage, which is kind of sucky, but this is one of those situations where like I'm not really getting any more done here. Like I'm not in a position to do anything more than this. So we'll make the 8 goblins and we'll see if it's good enough. I think there's a very real possibility that it's not, but I'll give it a try. So this is probably Snap Brainstorm or Ponder. What was the rest of their hand? If they had a fetch land, I maybe would have considered Snap Brainstorm instead of Snap Ponder, because with 2 cards left, you could potentially get 2 whole new cards instead of 1 whole new card. Because they just had Snap and lands, right? Or Snap in a land. I don't remember well enough. I should pay more attention. So they didn't shuffle with the Ponder. No, not attacking with Thief of Sanity. They just want to back on blockers. That's fine. I'll just come in with everything. So I get in for 6. Next time will be 5, then 4, then 3. So if they don't have, like, they are, this can kill them if they don't put any more blockers on board or have any way to get rid of these guys. That's a problem. Alright, so the goblins are not going to be very useful to me anymore. So I need to find something else. That's an okay draw insofar as now if I draw a Frenzy... Ah, frick. I was supposed to attack anyway, but now if I draw a Frenzy, I can cast it. Or if I draw Doomsday, I can make it past turn pile. But Thief of Sanity will make Doomsdaying a little harder. Let's see what they reveal. Oh, I don't get to... they don't reveal it. How does this work? Put the rest in their graveyards. Let's see what they put into my graveyard. Them getting an Experimental Frenzy would be pretty good. I got an Experimental Frenzy. I mean, not an Experimental Frenzy. I did not get an Experimental Frenzy. I got a Thoughtseize. I don't think there's any good reason for me to, whoops, attack Oko here. So yeah, this is kind of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of Empty in these kinds of matchups, is because of Oko. Like, before Oko, Frenzy was great. Yeah, or not fucking Frenzy. What the fuck is this card called? The Goblin Maker. Empty. Empty was great in these kinds of matchups because, like, 8 goblins could be enough to beat them. But nowadays, it's just, like, it's often just not. Because of Oko. It's too easy for them to stabilize. So I'll probably be cutting Oko for the next game, because I'm at this point I'm pretty sure there's going to be another game. Ugh, there's Experimental Frenzy in my graveyard. You hate to see it. Oh, and now there's more. So there's a very real possibility that, like, it's entirely possible that there's not many Frenzies left in my deck. Oh, well, I drew one. That's pretty good. I don't know if I'm supposed to just slam it here or what, but... or if I'm supposed to Thoughtseize first. I'm probably supposed to Thoughtseize first, because they've... well... oh, and I didn't even grab red mana, because I'm a fucking idiot. Well, I guess I'm going to Thoughtseize then. So now I have to hope to draw red mana because I clicked the wrong land. Oh, actually, I'm dead now. Or, well, I guess I'm not dead exactly. They can flash in Notion Thief. But they're probably going to try and hold that up for when I draw a card. So there's a Snapcaster. They're just going to snap Thoughtseize, right? I'm just going to concede. There's no way I'm going to win that. Alright, I'm going to take the empties out. Empty felt pretty bad here. I think I'm going to bring the Flusterstorms in. And with the empties out, I can cut the Cabal Writs and bring the Preordains back. We'll try that. I think I can keep this. I'm just going to hold up Fluster here because I don't think I want to get Thoughtseized. And I can, okay, no Thoughtseize. So I can cantrip next turn and hold up Flusterstorm. I got options. That's a good draw. I'll start with the Preordain. Those are both good draws. I'm going to take them. Let's try the duress mode here. Pyroblast and a Kolaghan's Command. I'm not super, they're nowhere near casting the Kolaghan's Command actually. So I'm going to take the Blast. Their hand's pretty awkward. They can cast Oko next turn, and that's it. They can't cast Wrenn and 6, they can't cast Thief of Sanity. Alright, I need some fucking business here. Nah, that ain't business. I'm putting back that Dark Writ because it doesn't feel like it's doing a whole lot here. Fuck me. Not a single fucking business spell, and that's like, that doesn't fucking qualify. That's pretty rough, pretty frustrating. So now they can cast their Thief of Sanity or their Wrenn and 6. So they make the Elk as expected. I wonder if I should have dressed at some point to take the Wrenn and 6. Or, I mean, I can hold up the Flusterstorm for Kolaghan's Command. But I feel like they tap out for Thief of Sanity here. They're more interested in playing the Ren 6. Okay. And I guess that makes sense because the Ren 6 is going to let them cast the rest of their spells. So. So they have one mystery card because they have the land, the thief, K command, and something else. Vault is real good. I think I'm going to duress here. Okay, I'm going to take the Kolaghan's command. I think I'm in a pretty good spot right now. Okay, Island, they just played... Oh no, they just played Scowling Tarn. Is that a card I saw? It was. So I got rid of that. So they have one mystery card in hand. Presumably they're going to play the Thief here, but I'm just going to try to win the game. And I have the Limdul's Vault to protect. I mean, I have the Fluster to try to protect myself a little bit if they have something. They might have found a Force. No, here comes the Thief. Okay. Alright, here we go. I need to poop. Null Rod. That is not a card I was anticipating, but it is beatable, so it just means I need to think a little harder about what the fuck I'm doing. It does turn off their food. So there's a Frenzy. Frenzy is good. Alright. Let's take a look here. Assuming they don't have anything that they can cast, which I don't think they do, because I think they had one mystery card. Now they have like a land and a Ren and 6, I think. So I can take the Frenzy, draw the Frenzy, go Darkrit, Frenzy, and then play Limdul's Vault off the top. And then if I hit like land, Darkrit, and I would need to hit a lot to be able to go off like that. I would need like land, Darkrit, and Doomsday all in the same set of 5. So let's take another look. At what is possible. Casting the Act on Impulse at some point isn't impossible. Like, let's think. So if I draw the... If I Limdul's... What could I Limdul's Vault into that would let me win by casting the Act on Impulse? I guess I'm not dead if I land this Frenzy, so maybe I'm supposed to just put the Frenzy down and then... Oh, actually, that might be the play. Like, put the Frenzy down, and then next turn, Limdul's Vault. And so I'll have more mana to work with. I'll have less life, but more mana. Although actually I'll have substantially less life, because they'll get to hit me with another food token. So I'm probably supposed to just keep going? Let's just keep going. maybe I'm supposed to just play the Frenzy, take a big hit. How much will I get hit for? 6, 8, 9, yeah. 9 if they ping me. Actually, they can ping me. So they actually have lethal right now. Because they can make another food token. That'll hit me for 8. And then they can ping me with the Ren and 6 and then ping me with the other Ren in hand. So I really need to just find a way to kill them right now. That's kind of awkward. There's a Doomsday. Ugh. I think I'm going to keep this. Just because I don't think I'm going to get any better. Obviously, these don't do anything, but I can cast them. And so I can get pretty deep into my deck this way. I don't have any way to get rid of the Null Rod. Null Rod was not a card I was expecting to have to play against. It's like normally this would put me in a really great position. Oh my god, that's so awful. Oh, what do I do here? Like, I basically, at this point, I need to find, like, land plus, like, land darker at Doomsday, I think is the only way I can see winning here. Dead. That's absurd. Wow. Oh, and I even drew one of the Doomsdays? Man, Null Rod is such a fucking beating. That's awful. That's super frustrating. Well, I guess I'll just finish out this league, and then I'll be done. See if I can get the 05. That's an achievement in itself. Although I did it not that long ago. Ugh. Maybe I was supposed to just keep going with that Limb Duels Vault and not stop there. It just don't, I don't, like, the cards needed to line up so perfectly to not, or to win right then, that it kind of felt like I had a better shot at winning the game if I could just play the Frenzy and have some mana up to try and keep going. But without the artifacts, it's just hard to go off. I would need to loop Collective Brutality, so I needed to be able to play Doomsday with black mana floating because I needed to cast. I needed my pile to be like Rituals plus Frenzy, or Rituals plus Collective Brutality plus Doomsday to loop Collective Brutality. That lets you kill without casting Outlines, Eye Diamonds, but so that's another example of where, like, having a Tendrils in my deck might have been okay because it would have let me have another potential out. Like, I made 11 Storm there. I just naturally frenzying into the Tendrils is a viable win con there. So this might be convincing me that Tendrils is supposed to be in the deck just to have the flexibility, or in the 75, I guess, just to have the flexibility of having, I don't know, having the options to win without casting Doomsday. That's the really the hard part. Okay, I can keep this hand. This hand is kind of really wants to find a frenzy, but I'm just going to start with the Thoughtseize and see what my opponent's playing. Great, I'm glad I started with the Thoughtseize. So they don't have any way to get... Actually, I guess they have Cabal Therapy as a way to get something into the graveyard. So this is a really good hand. I have to take the Reanimate, right? Take Reanimate, they'd have to draw a Dark Writ or another Lotus Petal to be able to reanimate something this turn, and then I can try and search for another discard spell to take the Animate dead. If they don't just reanimate Grizzlebrand. So this is, I definitely feel like, yeah, not having, or what I'm trying to say, the Hope of Gearpers in my sideboard felt fucking awful. I played against 4 blue decks and didn't want to bring it in against any of them. So I think that's pretty telling about Hope of Gearper in this deck. So when they draw another Animate dead, that's a problem, because it means that there's no way for me to prevent them from reanimating that Grizzlebrand. Unless I draw a discard spell, ponder into another one, and spend a Dark Writ to... Actually, I suppose now there is a way, which is to ponder right into an Experimental Frenzy. That ain't it. I don't think this is... It's not worth it to cast this here, because I can't win next turn. And so... like, it's not going to matter much. They're going to be able to draw so many cards. I'm not going to be able to win with the pass. Oh, I meant to not fucking put it on the stack so they didn't see. God damn it. Alright, obviously I'm fucking tilted and can't play right. But yeah, if they're going to draw 21 cards before I have the opportunity to actually win the game, if I cast Doomsday there, and there's no way I would win. It's just not realistic. And that hand is not good enough. That hand does something, so I'm going to keep it. I'll put Jace on the bottom. I'll start with the Thoughtseize. And I could conceivably cast a Doomsday next turn if I wanted. I'd have to think about how I would win the game from there, but it would be possible in 2 turns maybe. Let's see what we got. Exhume, exhume, looting, looting. Interesting. There's not a whole lot of reason for me to put the looting away, I don't think. I guess I'll put an exhume in the graveyard, and I'm going to play out my Lotus Petals and pass. I think a Dark Rite would be the best draw for me, because then I could make a pass turn pile that only had to pass one turn. Another land actually would be okay. I could make a pass turn pile that only had to pass one turn. So really I'm on the lookout for mana. Is that Marsh Flats? Is not their draw. They have this. Chancellor and Griselbrand. That's pretty annoying. I definitely, because they have two creatures in their graveyard, I'm almost certain that I'm supposed to surgical the exhume right now. Although I probably am supposed to do it in their draw step. Okay, well, I drew the Dark Rite, so we'll fire this off. Make a pass the turn pile. I'm basically just hoping for the best here. So I'm going to do this very carefully. I don't want to click through their draw step. Here we go. Snag the exhume. Hope it's good enough. Well, they didn't draw another thing. So basically now I have to hope that they don't loot into another reanimation spell, which of course is well within the realm of possibility. But there's fewer of them in their deck now. Fingers crossed. Actually, am I an idiot? I think I'm an idiot. Oh wait, no. Exhume is... How the fuck does Exhume work? Is Exhume the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, it puts a creature from their graveyard. Okay, I'm not an idiot. If it was a targeted reanimation spell, I would have had to... I would have just targeted whatever they targeted. But because it was Exhume, there was no way for me to get both of them out of the graveyard. So I needed to do what I did. Okay. I just had a minute there where I'm like second guessing my entire self. Now, if they've drawn like, I don't know, a fucking Pyroblast or something, I guess I don't really know what options they could have, but a Pyroblast would really fuck this shit out of me. Okay. Didn't get my shit kicked in, which was good. Let's see. I don't see any reason to change my deck at this point. I just need a good hand that does things, which that is not one of those. That's not that. That ain't it either. Although that hand's not bad if I drew a land, but like if, I don't know, if one of these LEDs was a land, that'd be a snap keep. But as it is not. As it stands, it is not. It's quite bad. Okay, I'm going to keep this because it's unlikely for it to get any better for me. And I'll put a preordain on the bottom and another preordain on the bottom. There's a Chancellor, okay. It's good. I'm glad I kept the LED. I'm pretty willing to throw that LED away into the Chancellor trigger. They might just fucking kill me on turn 1 here, though. Chancellate me on turn 1. Yep. Cabal therapying themselves. And then they reanimate the Chancellor. I do upload all of them to YouTube. I can... Let's see here. You can probably find me on YouTube if you just search DDFT guy, but I can also drop a link. Yeah, I mean... Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm going to drop the link anyway, in case anyone else is wondering. But yes, I upload every video I make to YouTube, although I'm tempted to not upload this one to YouTube given how fucking atrocious it was. But I will. Yeah, I'm not going to fucking let them jerk themselves off anymore. Alright. Great, that's fucking sick. Clean 05. I almost got the clean 1-2 sweep, but unfortunately I lost. I won in match in just 2 games. So, I don't know. It's when something like this happens, it's like, especially in a lot of these first few games, it's like if something had broken a little bit better my way, they might have been 2-1s. But I don't know. That shit happens. It sucked. For what it's worth, I'm going to take a quick look at the deck before I sign off. I think Hope of Girpur felt awful. I played against 4 blue decks and never ever wanted it. So Hope of Girpur's getting shit canned. I also felt like not having Tendrils in the 75 was bad. So I'm going back to my previous configuration because I think it was better. So Conjurer's Bauble back into the main deck, Tendrils back into the sideboard, and I think the next card I want to try, so I have 1 sideboard slot left, what I really want to try is an Engineered Explosives, but I don't have one, so for now I'm probably just going to put Tormod's Crypt in. Tormod's Crypt or Pyroblast are the, let's do Pyroblast. Pyroblast is maybe a little better. Hard to say, but... So this is the configuration I've been running for a while, and I felt pretty good about. I had wanted to test if not having Tendrils in the 75 was any better, and it felt pretty bad. So, back to this. Alright, I gotta take it down.